Hi everyone, what I'm going to show you today is how to apply the bareMinerals Original Foundation like a professional. Now, I've been a beauty therapist for almost 20 years now. I've trained with bareMinerals many years ago in the spa that I worked in, and I'm going to show you today how to apply it like a professional would, just so that it gives you that beautiful skin-like finish. And a lot of people can be scared because when they see that it's a loose mineral form, I think sometimes that puts them off using it or just a wee bit wary about how to apply it. So hopefully today's video I'm going to be able to show you how to apply it perfectly so your skin looks luminous and glowy and not caked or heavy like some people might be fearful of when they're using this product. I hope you find this helpful. If you do, please give it a thumbs up and remember to subscribe to the channel, and I'm just going to get started. So this is what the bareMinerals Original Foundation looks like. So you're just going to unscrew the lid and you'll see that you just twist the product, and what to do is just shake it into the lid. You can see my lid's quite well used because I use this every day. So you're just going to shake a small amount. I would always say start with less and you can build it up. It's a really buildable foundation. So you're just going to start with, I'd say, about that much. So try not put too much in the cap because then you end up, it's just wasting product, and you might find that it does then look heavier and not as natural on the skin. They do usually come with different brushes. So there's a brush that gives a kind of lighter application, which is a flawless brush, which is the one I prefer to use. If you want a heavier application, you can also use the Kabuki Brush, but I think this is a wee bit different, the design of the newer one that's out just now. That this is quite an old one I've had for a long time, but the brushes last, so that's a great thing about it too. How you're going to apply your bareMinerals foundation is, once you've got your little bit of minerals in the lid, like so, you're then just going to use your Kabuki brush, and this is just going to pick up all the product, but there is a special technique in how to apply it when you're using the brush and the product. So what to do first of all is just you're going to put it into the lid, you're going to swirl, it's going to pick up all of those minerals in there. So just make sure that you just give it a good swirl in the lid to make sure that it's picked up all of the minerals in the foundation. So as you can see, there's nothing left in the lid. You're then going to tap off any excess, and then you're just going to start applying it to the skin. It's going to buff it onto the skin. So I usually start in the middle of the face, which is usually where you want more coverage, and work your way out to the outside of the face where you do prefer like it to kind of fade out and be more natural. So there's not a heavy line here. So usually just start in the middle of the face, just building up most of the colour in there first, and just spend time. Usually circular motions are the best thing to do to apply it because that's really buffing it onto the skin. And remember, there are lots of minerals that we've put into the brush, so just make sure that you just spend a few minutes kind of buffing it onto the skin, and that'll just really push the foundation into the skin. I'm going to do kind of half of the face on this side just to give you an idea of how it looks. I'm going to go in with a smaller brush to do some concealing on obviously breakouts and spots that I've got in the chin area. If you do have any blemishes, it's good to just go in with something a wee bit more detailed as a brush just to cover them. But I will go over the chin area just now just with this brush so you can see how well it does apply it. So already you can see that I've given quite a nice wee natural layer of foundation. And again, put some into the lid. This is really buildable for the skin, which is great, so you can vary the coverage and consistency that you do like from a makeup if you want something more natural, or if you're looking for something with a wee bit more heavier coverage. It's perfect. So I'll just do the chin area. Again, like I said, I'm just going to go in with a more with a concealer brush to do more of the chin area. So as you can see, that it doesn't look dry, it doesn't look cakey, it looks very natural so far. It just looks like your own skin, but a better version of your own skin, which is really good. You just want to kind of enhance what you've got. See already there's a nice coverage on this skin here. It still looks very natural, and this side it's not been touched, whereas this side it looks really nice and quite natural and skin-like. So I'm going to go in and do it this side now. You can use a different brush as well. I do quite like using this brush, which is their Flawless brush, and this is what I tend to apply it with. It still gives you really nice coverage too, so I'll just show you in comparison, then you're just going to start buffing it on. If you do prefer holding a brush that's got more of a handle, then this one's perfect for more control as well. So this is just the buffing technique, so if I slow it down, I'm just really doing circular motions on the skin, but just kind of faster. It is a natural foundation, so it's got like 4 ingredients in it. It's very natural, really good for the skin. It's actually so clean, the ingredients, that you can actually sleep in it, which is great if anybody ever forgets to, well, if anybody ever gets too tired to take their makeup off, which I don't really recommend, but it's not going to do any harm because the ingredients in it are so good. And always remember to take it down your neck. So I'm just kind of like doing a kind of up and down motion like that, up and down the neck. Just going to go in and do a little bit of concealing now in those areas that I'd mentioned before, and I'm just going to use the Maximum Concealer coverage brush, which is this one here. This is a great one for just getting into any wee areas like around the nose, or if you have any wee spots and blemishes that you just want to cover up, or even just kind of for under the eye area as well. It's just the perfect size to fit into those areas. So when it comes to concealing, you'll obviously need a lot less in the lid, so you'll probably be able to barely see that I've got anything in there. So just put a little bit on the brush. Again, swirl, tap. And then I'm just going to start in the nose area here. So I'm just going to start applying it around this area here, which is where we tend to get a bit of redness around the nose area. So you can see that's already taken it away. And then the same at this side. So these are the areas that you want to conceal when you are doing your concealer, just around the nose area, where we do tend to sometimes get redness. Just anywhere that you can see that there's a wee bit of colour that's needing corrected. I'm just going to work on these areas down here where I've got some spots. And the good thing is, because it is a natural makeup, this applying that onto any breakouts or any spots is actually really good at helping the healing process of them, because it's got zinc in it, which is amazing for healing any spots and breakouts. It's a great ingredient to have in this foundation. So I'm just going to dab along any wee redness, any areas of redness that I see on my chin. You can do a little bit in between the eyebrows. This is an area that sometimes, if your eyes are quite close set together, just creating some space in this area here gives the illusion that they're further apart. So if you want to go under the eye area as well, that's a great area to do. It is more of like a kind of soft texture as opposed to anything drying, so you're actually fine just to sweep that under there. Under the eye area. It's not going to be too drying or anything because it does kind of set, not into like a dry powder, but as you can see it's quite luminous already on the skin. So feel free to go ahead and, you know, if you wanted to conceal anything under the eye area. Make sure before you do put any foundation on that you always have the skin prepared first, so always moisturise, always apply product to a moisturised skin. The skin is the canvas, so if you get the preparation right before you apply the foundation, it'll make such a difference. So always moisturise first. I'd put my moisturiser on before I started, so I just put the Elemis Pro-Collagen Marine cream moisturiser on first before I started applying the foundation. So you just want to set a nice canvas for your makeup to go on, so then it has that nice flawless smooth effect. It'll just make it look even better. I couldn't actually imagine putting makeup on to a skin without moisturiser and how dry and tight that would feel. So the skin, always think skin first, makeup second. That's usually always the rule. And then you can just go over the eyelids if you want with a little brush like this too, and that's just going to give extra coverage, like I'd said before. If you're thinking of, if you're putting eyeshadow on afterwards, it just creates a nice colour correction if you do have any pinkness or any redness, or if obviously the skin around the eyes is quite thin, so it just kind of balances everything out. As you can see, it doesn't look dry, it doesn't look caked, it looks very natural and skin-like. It's not heavy or caked. You can't see a difference between obviously where I've put it on here because I've blended it down naturally, but it just gives such nice coverage on the skin. If you are thinking of trying bareMinerals makeup and going for something more natural and more clean makeup with minimal ingredients, then I can't recommend bareMinerals enough. I've used it for so many years. It's a great everyday foundation if you don't like a lot of chemicals on your skin, and if you are looking for something that's more of like a natural clean brand, then bareMinerals is perfect for that. So I'll link the foundation that I've used below, so if you're interested in trying it. The shade that I've got is Fairly Light, so that's the shade that I've used today. And it doesn't go off. That's another great thing about the this foundation, is because it's mineral based, the ingredients don't go off, so this lasts so long. You'll get so long out of this pot. It's a very small amount too, to create a nice coverage for the skin. It's buildable. It's also got an SPF 15 in it, which is brilliant, so your skin's protected if you're outside. I would always advise you to wear an SPF, you know, on your skin anyway to slow down the aging, but it's great that you've got one built into this foundation as well, because obviously we all want to keep our skin looking as young and youthful for as long as possible. So I hope you found that video helpful today. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I create a lot of skincare and makeup tutorials, and there's some spa ones in there as well, and some travel, to be able to do more of those as soon as the restrictions are lifted and we'll be able to go to spas again, and I'll be able to share the best spas and treatments and things like that with you all. So in the meantime, you can check out my other videos and the other tutorials, and so I hope you all have a lovely day, and I hope you found that helpful, and I'll see you in the next video.